you're probably using Instagram wrong. You probably use it as a social media tool to consume content, to stay entertained, to pass the time. Instead, what if you used Instagram to actually make money? That's how I use Instagram. I use Instagram as a networking tool to put myself in the best position to connect with business owners that I can provide value to. And I made hundreds of thousands of dollars leveraging a very, very simple Instagram account. You don't need to be an influencer. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to make content 24/7. What I'm going to explain to you in this video is how to use Instagram and other social media to put yourself in the best position to make money as a closer, to find the best gigs as a high ticket closer, someone doing high ticket sales, so that you can start making 10K, 20K, even 30K plus every single month as a young man. It's really simple. You can do this because I did it myself, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how I did it. In fact, I'm going to show you how I did it in detail. Okay, let's go ahead and get into training. This is going to change your life and make you a whole lot of money. Let's go ahead and look at how I did it and how you can do it too. Boom, boom, boom. What's up, boys? Let's do this. How do you use social media to make big money and get closing deals, closing gigs, or appointment setting gigs if you're starting out, and how do you cash out and make some big money? I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So wake up and dive in, because I'm going to explain to you exactly how you can use social media, namely Instagram, to connect with people, network, build your network, and make money as a closer, make money in the high ticket space without having to make things complicated and having to like make a fuck ton of shorts or reels and things like that. It's going to be really simple. And I'm going to actually show you exactly how to do it. I'm going to show you guys that are doing it too to make this really easy. So the first thing you have to understand is that social media is the new resume. Gone are the days, or not gone, but less prevalent are the days where you had to come into the job with a piece of paper saying what university you go to, who you interned for, etc., etc. Social media is the new resume. Now, I don't want to say you don't want to have a resume. I won't say that. Have a resume if you want to get hired. In fact, for the position I'm in now with the company I work with, they asked to look at a resume, but it wasn't the deciding factor in me getting hired by them and working with them. The opportunities that have made me the most money, just to be clear here, I didn't need a resume for those opportunities. The opportunities I've had where I made the most money working with other business owners, working as a consultant, running my own business, I never needed a resume. So if you think that just having a resume and some cover letter is what's going to get you in the door, that isn't the case. People are checking your social media. The best options and opportunities for you to actually make the money you want, for you to work with the people you want, get in the positions you want, get the cash you want, which means hitting 10K, 15K, 20K per month. If you really are serious about doing that, the best options are a DM away. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how to do that in this video. You need to understand the idea of digital handshakes and digital networking. That's really where the money lies. If you can shake someone's hand digitally and connect with them digitally, you're going to make the big bucks. You're going to make the money. You're going to be in a good position. You also have to be good and skilled. So none of this matters, just to be clear, if you don't have a certain baseline of skill, a certain baseline of talent. You have to be good to a certain extent, okay? So let's start with that. But once you do have a basic baseline of being good and you do have some kind of skill built up, then you have to understand how to properly network and how to shake people's hand digitally, because that's where the money will come from. The first step is optimization. And I'm going to literally show you what this looks like, okay? I'm going to give you examples of this that are going to help you so much. Your profile has to look the part of the guy who can make money online. Because what you're going to do in order to get in a good position where you can make the money, you're going to have to send messages to people. You're going to have to DM business owners. You're going to have to DM coaches. You're going to have to DM consultants that are making money so that you can provide value to their business. That's what you're doing as a closer. If you're interested in getting into high ticket closing, or if you've gotten your foot in the door through setting, or you're already closing but at a low level and you want to get better, that's the key. You have to find the people that are actually making the money and could use your services. Your service meaning you saving them time. That's what you're doing. You're saving them time because you're handling a problem for them and bringing in more business for them without them having to spend lots of money to make that happen. Instead, they just pay you a percentage from all the extra business you are bringing into them because you are good at what you do. People are getting flooded with messages online. That's the truth. They're getting absolutely flooded and destroyed with messages online. You have to be able to stand out from the haze. You know, I talk about it in my videos, the haze. The haze, some people call it the matrix. You're stuck in the haze if you don't stand out. And you have to stand out because there's so many people flooding business owners and entrepreneurs with bullshit messages online. Hey, bro, like, dude, if I look at my Instagram right now, I guarantee you I'm going to see something. Let's see what one of my last messages were. I just had one on Instagram. Yeah, there's someone right here. Hey, Tim, your content's crazy. I'm curious, are you using ads or organic to get leads for your business? I'm not bullshitting you. I don't know if this is reversed or if you can see it. There we go. Hello, did you... And then he followed up today. Hello, did you see my last message or yesterday? All right, I'm getting tons of messages of people, and this is on another one of my business accounts. People asking for opportunity, things like that. You don't want to be another one of these guys, because if you do, you're not going to make money. It's just not going to happen. Or you're not going to do it very efficiently. You're going to waste a lot of time. So what you want to do is you want to take out a 30-day plan to build a sick, high-value profile. And then you also want your messages to be good. I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. I'm going to give you the answers here. But you need to take 30 days and build out a sick, high-value profile. Look at OxyTim. That's my Instagram account, oxy.tim. You can connect with me there. I get messages there, and I respond to everything. There's no message I don't respond to. So send me a message there if you want to see how I'm doing it, and you could just see it in real time. But I'll explain it to you here. And to be clear, I have nothing to sell you. So the agenda here is not to get you to buy something. I'm giving this to you for free. What I really want you to do is to take fucking action, because that's what matters. And if you want to get free education from me, if you want to learn this stuff for free, subscribe, okay? And you'll get there. And we're going to get there together. But what I want you to do is to take the action, because the action is actually what's going to get you the results. So here's what a high value profile toolkit is. These are the things you want to do. Number one, you need to have a good tagline. And I'm going to show you all of this, okay? So I'm going to go into examples of really good profiles that you can copy and use. I'm going to give it to you here. You have to have a good tagline. An example of a good tagline is passion. So passion meaning exactly what it is that you do and are passionate about. In my profile, I have consultant for high performers. That's my passion. That's kind of what I do. That's tagline. And then the next steps would be something kind of like what you're doing next in life, in business, what you're doing next, or it could be how they can reach you. Now, for you, if you're not running a business, which most of you probably aren't right now, I would suggest you making the next steps being like what you're working on. So as an example, the tagline could be consultant or sales consultant for 7-figure businesses. Okay, that's the top. And then under that could be maybe 3 things that you're involved in, like fitness, mindset development, self-mastery. Cool. That's the other one. And then one final line, which would be next steps. Let's connect on how you can add another 6 figures to your biz. That's an example of a next step, right? Or let's get you results with sales. That's an example of another next step. I'm not a huge fan of how that sounds, but what you're doing is you want your tagline to be purposeful. You want your tagline to sound like it has meaning. And I'm going to show you examples of this in a second. You want your tagline to have meaning and to sound like you have a purpose and that you're playing the game the right way. Because the key is that you're playing the game. The key is that you're in the game of making money, right? That's the key. And that's what's going to allow when you DM people them to have a higher chance of responding to you because you look like you're in the game. Now, what I found is you want to generally have a minimum of 6 high-value personality or stylized photos. A minimum of 6. That's the baseline for me. You need to have 6 photos before you're ready to go. You could DM people before you have 6 photos, but 6 photos is your sweet spot, 6 or more. So what I have, my rules is one of the photos has to have motion and context, meaning you doing something, walking somewhere, moving somewhere in some kind of environment where you are doing something. That's an example of one. Another one would be high value settings and locations. So where are you actually in these photos? And you'll see the examples I'm going to show with you how the guys that I'm going to show you are actually following these rules. You want to be in different high value settings and different high value locations. And you can see this in my Instagram, like one of my last photos, I'm sitting here in a fancy bar, right? That's an example of one of those. I'm here. It's a street photo, but there's a little bit of motion. I'm on my phone looking around doing something. So there has to be some kind of motion or context and something that's a high value setting. Another one is working and productivity. That's one of my favorite photos to have. Working and productivity, showing you on the laptop, you making something happen when it comes to work, when it comes to your workflow, being in balance, things like that. And I have a lot of those photos. Another one is lifestyle activities. This is another good option. So you can see here, I'm not holding the lighter correctly. Actually, I learned about that later, but it's me smoking a cigar. We're lighting up a cigar. Here's me in a bar, like a high-class place, dressed really well. That's important. The other thing, what's interesting, is your profile picture needs to be high impact. Now, high impact doesn't mean it needs to be shocking. You don't have to have a shocking profile picture where it's like crazy, but your profile picture does need to actually convey some kind of meaning or some kind of quality. So my profile picture for Oxy Tim, I actually am breaking the rules a little bit with this because my profile is quite solid, so I don't need to have the perfect profile picture. But as an example, my profile picture here is me taking a selfie in the mirror, but I've got the sunglasses on, baseball cap. I look a little bit like an agent or something in the Matrix. I don't know, something cool. So I just kind of wanted to mess around with that, and it's actually worked for me. I get a lot of responses to my DMs. I'm kind of going in the complete opposite direction and making my profile picture almost douchey, and it works. But generally, you don't want to do this all the time. You want to have a profile picture that's high impact, where you look like you are about business, right? And again, there's no solid rule here. It helps to actually ask. So if you want to DM me, reach out to me on IG and ask me what I think of your profile. I'll give you some insights there. And then the other thing is, on your photos, you want to have quality captions that demonstrate value. So have something with a quote. I tend to love to use stoic quotes or give updates about what I'm doing in my life personally. So I'll do that. And that's kind of my value that I share under my profile captions. And there's a couple of don'ts also. I want to get that clear. But before I go to the don'ts, look at some case studies. So my buddy Aaron Segal, who's great. Aaron's amazing. Shout out to you, Aaron. I asked him if I could use his profile as an example for this video, for this training, because I think he does it so correctly. Look at his profile, the tagline, video editor, storytelling coach. There's his mission, like what he does, right? That's kind of his passion. Architect of visionary storytelling, DM vision for info. There we go. And you can see on his profile, because he's a video creator, he doesn't do high-ticket sales or high-ticket closing. That's not what his niche is. He does video for people and creative video for coaches and influencers. So, but his profile is great for actually selling his services and great for selling in general. If he switched to just saying I'm a closer and I work as a sales consultant, a sales closer, he'd have the same impact. When Aaron DMs someone, he's getting a response half the time, and half is really, really high. Right. So look at his profile here. He's got a bit of family stuff, but there's a bunch of reels. There's Steve Jobs popping up. There's him on the laptop, you see on the phone, you see how much motion there is. Look at this reel here. And he does a lot of reels. That's his content, but it's stuff that looks quality. His posts look quality. And I'll show you guys what it shouldn't look like as well, as you have an example. Another example here is my buddy Baptiste. Shout out to you, Baptiste, the Batu. You can see his Instagram here. Shout out to Baptiste. And look at how he's building his Instagram. Building a solo business of €1 million annually, progression 15%. And there's the call to action. The next steps, learn from my side. And below, he has this in French, by the way. This is the translation. And below, what do you have? There's the link. I don't have a link in my profile because I don't want people to link to anything necessarily. In my business profile, I do. But for my personal, where I half personal, half business, where I do a lot of my networking, I don't have a link there. I just have myself, and I just connect with people in messages, but he does have a link. And look at his profile here. Him and Jordan Peterson looking cool. Him in motion. He's got a douchey mirror selfie. That's him kind of in the gym, right? It's a lot of pose stuff, but it's in motion. It looks quality. He looks like a man about his business. There he has the real, got the sunglasses on, looking like he's about business, right? That's the key ultimately. What do you not want to do? What are the don'ts? You don't want to have an overly themed profile. That's a really big one. Unless your profile is for a specific business, you don't want to have an overtly themed profile like anime, memes, guns, fashion, AI, all that stuff. You don't want to do that. If you're trying to I'm talking if you're trying to network, okay? So if you're just doing a profile for fun, for yourself, and you don't care about networking with people, building your network, making money from it, I don't care. Really, you can do anything you want on your profile. It doesn't matter. You make it a comedy profile for all I fucking care. But if you actually want to make money off the profile in terms of your network and you want to get good opportunities and have people take you seriously, your profile can't be overly themed. There's a lot of unprofessional shit that you don't want to have either, like tons of girls on the profile. It just gets douchey. Again, unless you're like a dating coach, right? Then you change. But lots of girls drinking and partying, stuff with the boys, tons of photos with your guy friends. Like every photo is like you guys having drinks on fucking vacation in Vegas. You don't want that. And excess fitness and body posts also doesn't help you. It takes away from the professionality of your profile. Here's an example of what not to do. And I've just blurred this person's profile for his anonymity, but you can see like this is what you don't want to do. His profile is not a bad profile by itself. If he just wanted to make friends and have people follow him, sure, it's good. But no one's gonna reach out to this guy and respond to him for closing gigs if he's a closer. And I've spoken to him and we're working on it. But like the profile, it's not the worst thing, but it's just random glimpses of his life. There's a suitcase. There's a lot of mirror stuff. and you see he's posting like a lot of stuff with fitness, but it doesn't look good. It kind of just looks like, here's my life updates. There's him having a beer casually, but it's not stylized. It doesn't look like it was taken with much thought. There's no video pictures of him working or grinding hard on the laptop, things like that. We don't have any of that, right? And it's not quality. There's a picture of a building here. His dog. Dogs are cool. I have a photo of my dog on my profile, but it's me and my dog doing something, like we're walking in the grass. It just looks a lot different. So you don't want to have a profile that looks like this where there's no real meaning connected to it. You don't want that. Now, here's the steps to getting connected. Here's how you make cash. You have to be proactive with how you actually outreach. You have to be proactive with how you message. You have to be proactive with how you connect with people. You have to do it actively. You can't just sit back not doing anything. You will get no results. To work with the best guys in the industry, to work with the best companies, to work with people who have the best offers that are going to let you make the most money because they're making the most money, you have to be among the best and you have to look like you could actually be the best. That's the key. If you want to work with the best, you have to look like you could be the best. There's something that I call the 20 by 5 strategy, which means 20 DMs over 5 days. What you want to do is send 10 to 20 high-quality messages a day. A high-quality message looks like you look at their profile, you maybe look at their website, you look at what they do, and you send them a message offering value. You send the message offering value. My message that I always send is, hey, let's say the person's name is John. Hey, John, love what you're doing with consulting. I'm curious, could you use a closer who's going to add 500K to $1 million in revenue to your business every single year? Done. That's it. And then maybe I'll put in parentheses, closing at 40%, right? That's what I'll say. Those are my numbers. Make sure that you follow up as well. You're going to get some responses. If you start sending out 20 of these a day, or 10 maybe even, and you have a good profile, a profile that's quality, you're going to get messages and you're going to get respect from people. They're going to engage you. So what you have to do is be prepared to follow up. People are going to respond. You don't want to let them die. You don't want to let these conversations die out because you're on a timer. That's the truth. You're on a fucking timer. So you want to send proof. People are going to ask you, oh, hey, can you tell me more? What's your experience? Send a Loom video. This is Loom, the software I'm using right now to make this YouTube video. Send a Loom video. In a Loom video, you'll tell them what you've got going on. Talk to them about what your results are and who you've trained with, who your mentors are. And you should have them. I'll explain that in a second. And then maybe send over a call recording of you closing a deal actually and making something happen. That's the key. That's really where the key is. Now, what's the pathway forward for you? The key is like, what do you do next? If you have no or minimal experience, what you should do is start as a setter. A setter is the person who sends out the messages and tries to book the calls and get people to commit to doing the sales call that the closer, the high ticket closer, finishes and brings them into the program. Now, what you want to do as a setter is start taking triage calls. We call them triages. Triages mean that you do a short 10 to 15 minute call where you get to know if the person is a good fit for what you guys do, if they can afford it. You get to know if they're serious about making a change and actually committing to going to the next level. And you go from there, and then you say, would you like to have a call with one of our team who's actually going to explain to you how we'll get you there and what that journey looks like. And then from there, you make a decision on whether you want to work with us or not. That's what a triage taker does. You want to start with that because it's a step up into closing if you haven't had an experience. And if you have been experienced as a closer and you haven't been getting good gigs, good deals, you simply need to work on your network and you need to train with people, train from the best. Know your numbers as well. What percentage are you closing at? You can quote those numbers into DMs. That's really cool. If you can say the numbers you're closing at, hey, I'm closing at 35%. I'm bringing in 30% of deals. And I've done over $750K in revenue for my last company, or I've done $250K in revenue over 3 months for my last company, right? Know the numbers that you have and get educated from an expert mentor. Who's your expert? Who's your expert who's mentoring you? What's the programs you're investing in? If you haven't invested in sales training before, or you've just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and you don't actually have a mentor who's helping you get better and ironing out things in terms of the skill set, because it is a skill and it's not easy. It is not actually easy being a closer. I'm going to make a video on that later. But you need to get educated from an expert mentor. Invest in someone's work. Spend a couple grand on it. If you can't spend $1,000 on yourself, dude, how do you expect that other people are going to throw you $1,000? Like, seriously, if you can't spend a couple grand on yourself, how do you expect that other people are going to show up with that same energy for you if you're scared of that own energy yourself? Invest in yourself. Get educated from an expert. I've spent thousands of dollars, and I'm talking 30K. Well, now it's actually closer to 40K plus on my own mentorship, my own personal coaching for mentors and coaches who've guided me and you need to do the same. That's how you're going to make the big bucks, by acquiring knowledge and getting better. That's it. There's nothing else for me here. I've got nothing else for you. The next steps is 3 things. 1, take action. That's it. Like, that's the first thing I care about. I just want you to get better, and I want you to live the life you want. So take action, brother. This is the time to do it. There's no better time. Let's close out the year strong. Number 2, if you want free education, you want to use this platform to educate yourself properly, press the subscribe button. It takes a second. It's down below. Press the subscribe button. You'll see when I come out with more stuff. Every week we do this 2 times. So you can roll with me here on YouTube. And then number 3, if you want to actually connect and reach out and see if there's a way I could help. Again, there's nothing I have to sell you, but if you want to connect, just get some insights, as I do for a lot of the guys who message me. Just DM me on Instagram at oxy.tim, oxy.tim. That's my personal account. So you can reach me there and talk to me, and we'll go from there. All right, take care, bro. Be blessed. Wake up. Get out of the haze. It's time to make some money. Let's close out the year strong. It's time to roll. I'm rooting for you. Peace.